raise your hand if you're like me and your favorite part of the Thanksgiving feast is pumpkin pie. Me. All right, today we are showing you how to make it the absolute best. I'm super excited. Joining us is Proportional Plate food blogger Candice Walker is back. Candice, I am super thrilled that you have kind of a twist on this. It's completely different than what I've seen.
Yeah, so we're making it from actual pie pumpkins, and we're also adding a little bit of a maple syrup twist that I think adds the best flavor, and you're just going to want to make this from now on.
Is it simple, though? I mean, I have to say, the cans and everything, if you're just, you're making an easy pumpkin pie, it's easy and simple to do.
You'd be surprised. All you have to do, and I'm going to show you right here, I've already roasted this pumpkin. All I did was cut it in half down the middle. That's what it looked like before. Took out the seeds, and I roasted it at 350 for 1 hour. Okay. That's it. And you can't even find pumpkin puree on the shelves anymore, so you might as well make it yourself.
That is so true. I did try to get pumpkin pie filling or just pumpkin in general in a can last weekend. I couldn't do it. There is none at the grocery store.
People are actually cooking this year, so they probably didn't make enough. I don't know. But look, it just like the peel comes right off, as you can see, and that's what you're buying in a can.
Yeah. Talk about all the ingredients that it takes. So obviously it takes the pumpkin there, and then what else do you put into there? What ingredients does everyone need?
We have granulated and brown sugar. We have some salt, some cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and cloves. And 2 eggs go in it, some half and half, vanilla extract, and maple syrup. Plus, of course, your prepared pie crust, which if you are in the Portland area, I highly recommend the ones from Grand Central Market. They are my favorite and better than anything I've ever been able to make myself.
Well, I'm just glad that you're showing the filling today, because I'm the type that just eats the filling from the crust, and thank goodness one of my kids just likes the crust. So I'll have to take that tip.
My husband does the same thing, and so I already made one here to show you, and then I'm making another one, and there's only 2 of us in this house, and when I told him that, he looked at me and said, "So what's the problem?"
I love it. You have to bring him in for one of these segments. All right, so you roasted the pumpkin, and then what's next?
So you roast the pumpkin, and then you pop it into your food processor.
I can't believe it's this easy.
Yeah, it's almost completely done in the food processor. You'll pop it in there with both kinds of sugar. So that's the granulated. Here's the brown. And then all the spices.
How beforehand can you make this and keep the pie around?
Well, I actually pop it in the fridge because it's easier to take the slices out. So you can make it a couple days in advance.
I suddenly, because of COVID, I'm going to be making my first turkey this year. I was always in charge of pink salad, but I'm doing the whole shebang for our family.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Our family, like my kids and everything. So, but my husband says, he's like, I want everything that we typically have. I'm like, oh my gosh, my mom will make a huge feast. And now I'm just doing that for our family. So I'm glad I have these tips today, because you have even sides that you're doing. You have a whole pamphlet of tips for people.
I do. I have a free ebook on my blog that you can get that has the 4 sides and the 4 desserts that I'm making throughout the week. I'm sort of spreading them out so that I can enjoy them all.
Right. So like Brussels sprouts is one of your main things. Do you have a good tip for Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, so these are pomegranate molasses roasted Brussels sprouts. The tip is to leave them in the oven a little longer than you think you would want to, because you want them to brown a little bit, because that caramelization is where the good flavor comes from and how you know that they're perfectly cooked.
And what about your stuffing?
Oh, that's stuffing. It's a turkey sausage stuffing with tarragon and apples and all kinds of awesome stuff in there. And it's something that we're actually planning on making this week on Tuesday and eating it as a whole meal, because it's got everything in there.
Love it. And then, of course, we got the dessert. So you're going to puree the pumpkin. Sorry, I digress. I took you down another route.
Let's run it for a minute. It might be a little loud. So normally I'll run it for about a minute.
Okay. That's a great blender.
But we're going to cut it a little short. And we'll pop this into our saucepan. Ooh, let's get this guy over here now. There goes the whisk. All right, we're going to pop this into the saucepan. And we want to whisk it and just make sure it's heated all the way through.
So not too hot. You're not bringing it to a boil or anything.
Yeah, you're not going to boil it. It's pretty thick, as you can see.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not something that you need to bring to a boil. You just want to make sure it's heated all the way through. And normally I'd put it in the food processor for about that minute just to make sure that you fully break down that pumpkin and you get that really smooth texture. So the full minute in the food processor is definitely a good idea. And then once this is heated, we're going to add in our half and half.
Quite a bit there.
And the maple syrup.
I love that maple syrup. Where did you learn to add that ingredient?
It's one of those things where I didn't have the right ingredient, so I made a substitution, and it was a very happy mistake.
I love that. Those are the best.
It actually happens all the time. I don't usually cook by a recipe. As we know, when you're baking, you're supposed to cook more by the recipe than when you're doing savory cooking. But you know, if I don't have something and I need it, I'll just look in the pantry and see what else I have. And I've been making this pumpkin pie for over a decade now. Wait, how old am I? I've been making, over a decade. And I make a few of them every season. So once this is now heated, we're gonna remove it from the heat. And it's not that hot because it hasn't been on there as long as I'd normally have it. But then we're gonna whisk in our eggs. So it's 2 eggs that I've scrambled and I'm whisking those in.
Okay.
And then the vanilla extract. And that's the filling. Let me show you. I have a little pie crust that I prepared.
I think everyone is just having to do recipes these days with what they have, because no one wants to go to the grocery store, especially for one ingredient, at least myself. You don't want to, put yourself at risk. Staying safe, it's one of those things where people have truly learned how to cook because they have to use what they have.
It's true, and it's such a good thing, you know? I feel like people are getting a skill that's really helpful, and I feel like the kids, especially the teenagers at home, are actually learning how to feed themselves. It's great.
Very true.
So we'll just pop this into our prepared pie crust, and you bake it for an hour. And that's it.
And that's it. And it's beautiful. Take a look at that. I know we have another picture where you just did the filling, which is totally my shindig there with just the filling and the whipped cream as well. That is what I'd be eating. Oh my goodness. Candice, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Happy Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful time with your husband.
Thanks. Have a great time with your family.
Yes, I will. Thank you. And again, we're going to have this recipe and a link to more of Candice's creations and that ebook for Thanksgiving on our website at KATU.com.